I'd like to welcome you guys to this week's report. Today is Thursday, October 16th. We had our first big storm of the season a couple days ago. Rained a lot in Long Beach. I'm sure it rained a lot everywhere else. Actually saw some snow in the mountains very high up on my way home from Oceanside today. And while the season is coming to an end, maybe, the good news is we have great weather in the forecast all weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and there are fish to catch. But again, this storm kept a lot of guys off the water, so I'm kind of limited on content. And what I've decided to do throughout the fall, winter, and spring season is to start doing some short format interviews with people in our industry. And I started off today with Tonie Bangos, who is the BD reporter for the Sport Boat Roundup. She's been MIA a little bit because she's been super busy with CCA work. But if you stay tuned towards the end, you can check that out. So starting off the Channel Islands, not a lot of coverage. I know the Aloha Spirit got out a couple of days, had very good rock fishing, no signs of game fish. Kind of be expected in this unstable weather. I think that over the next few days there might be more service activity just due to the nice weather. We'll have to see. Nothing from Nick or SBI, also due to weather, but I talked to my friend Oliver Nye from Big Tuna Dreams, also Big Bass Dreams and whatever else, and he sent me a few fun videos of them catching some nice rockfish on slow pitch jigs, so I'm going to show those here.
First ling has made it on board.
EB ling.
Very nice. On the jig. It's always fun when they're pulling drag. Look at them chompers, man. Whew, sucks to be a sand dab. Oh man, we're back on them. New jigs from Spro. 330 grams, and that's probably a 5-pound red. LA Doyers in the house, baby. See. Whoa. Alright, we're on a pretty nice grade of vermilion. This is one of the smaller ones. Fishing these new Spro jigs. 500 gram. Getting down where the big ones live. Good job. Thank you. Jigs from Spro. Everything like some big reds today, big Bocaccio, and this big copper. Good times. And look at old Brian here. Living the leisurely life.
It's a big one. Whatever.
So hanging out at Clementi, the yellows are still biting on squid. I know the Fury was out the other day, had a pretty good whack at them. They also had some fish on the front side and also some good calico bass fishing, so hopefully over the weekend that will continue. And yeah, that's about it. I feel bad not having more to say, but yeah, it's been rough. No one's been fishing, but the fish are still biting, which is good news. Catalina, the Pursuit, went out yesterday, and they got back on that bigger grade of yellows they were catching, and had a nice score there. So might be a good weekend option. Definitely much better weather than it's been, and I'm sure that the bass and bonita and everything else are still biting on the front side. If you need something to fall back on. I have no local report from up this way, I apologize, but down in San Diego I saw that the Dolphin on their half-day trip caught some semi-giant squid the other day, which I know is a bit of a regular occurrence. It's a little bit late in the year for a big group of them to move up, but I'm always dubious of seeing those because they do affect the fishing for rockfish, bass, other things like that, and they may be the reason the deep drop swordfish are not wide open right now as well. Plenty of forage for them. They caught those fish fishing rock caught at the 9 Mile Bank. In other news, the Dolphin also got a couple of nice bluefin while fishing rockfish at the 9 Mile Bank today. I saw on Fish Dope. I doubt anybody's jigging for them. They're probably just catching them on gains or whatever, which just shows you that bluefin are not as smart as we think. But, yeah, nothing for the Coronados at all this week. The bluefin up north, well, kind of up north, there were fish below Clementi, on the outside and below Clementi, that some of the day-and-a-half trips were catching them at night. Good grade of fish, but too windy out there the last couple days to take a look. And down south, and I'm not discounting that there's fish still up in the triangle by Cat, Clemente, and SBI. There just hasn't really been any coverage up there. Fish outside below the Coronados are biting. It's a mix of bluefin, yellowfin, they're getting some Dorado. I know that Jamie on Seasoned Sport Fish was down there the other day. Caught some nice fish. I saw him making some sashimi on the boat on the way in. Not a bad way to go. And at this time of year, you're much better off if you want to go fish, getting on like a 4-pack or 6-pack boat, because they're more likely to get off the dock than a larger sport boat. And if fishing's slow, you have a better chance of catching something. I apologize for this. I have a head cold or maybe a sinus infection I'm dealing with right now, and pretty miserable. There were fish out of Tanner and Cortez, but there hasn't been anybody out there due to the wind. And yeah, this might be my shortest report ever. Thank God that Tony took a few minutes to talk to me for this interview.
There you go. All right. Hi, Tony. We're laughing because we just spent about 10 minutes recording this and we didn't have the camera on because I'm an idiot.
We're professionals, by the way.
So many of you know Tony from her BD Outdoors videos, the Sport Boat Roundup, and her time on the Grande as a deckhand. She's also a licensed 100-ton captain and now works for CCA California. And as I try and get you guys to know more about CCA, I'm going to feature some of the people that work here with me. And Tony, why don't you give us a little bit of your backstory?
Yeah, thank you, Eric, for that wonderful introduction. I'll go back when I was very young. My story introducing myself to fishing is much like many people. I fished because my dad fished, and he showed my brothers and I the very bare bones basics. But what was different and what was at the same time normal for us was that we grew up going to Alaska every summer since we were very, very young, because he lived up there. He had a business up there. So every summer it was school's out, time to go up there and work with dad. So we got introduced to fishing salmon and trout, halibut, rockfish, lingcod, all those stuff up in Alaska. And like I said, that was totally normal to us. But I've always loved the ocean. Always, my whole life. I was known as Fish Girl growing up. They called me Scales. But I'm serious. This is all a true story, Eric. I wouldn't lie to you.
Great.
But I always thought fish were just the coolest thing on the planet. And so, my whole life mission at the time, I wanted to be an animal trainer. I wanted to work with orcas and work at SeaWorld, and that was my goal. I'm going to go to school, I'm going to become a marine biologist, and I'm going to work in husbandry as an animal trainer with marine mammals. So after high school, I took a few years off and went up, lived with my dad for on and off for a year or so. And I was working at the Alaska Sea Life Center with their marine mammals and birds and rehabilitation center, and got introduced to working with animals that way. And I'll fast forward a little bit. By the time I got to Long Beach State, I still had my marine biology degree in mind, and I had already worked with animals in captivity, but to me it was, okay, I was doing the very thing I wanted to do from a very young age. What was the next thing? What was the next best thing I could do?
Start killing animals on boats?
Well, going up to Alaska every year, it's a fishing town with a drinking problem, right? It's a lot of those cities up there. And I saw deckhands coming off the boat the same time every day. And I thought they had the best job in the world. They got to see orcas and dull porpoise and stellar sea lions. They got to fish. I love to fish. What could be so wrong? So I would wait at the top of the dock, and I wanted to learn how to fillet fish. I wanted to be a deckhand so badly up there that, at first they told me, no way, go back.
You didn't meet the height requirement? Must be this height to work on a boat?
Not quite. Even with extra tufts, I'm a whole inch taller, and it didn't work out for me. But I'd wait at the top of the dock, and that's how I learned how to fillet. And I had to do that for a period of time to where they said, okay, we actually need a deckhand. Why don't you come out? And after that trip, I remember looking out from the bow of the boat. I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is awesome. And I told the captain, I said, I will outwork every single one of your deckhands. Please let me go on the boat. I belong on the boat. So worked in Alaska for a handful of seasons. And when COVID hit, Alaska didn't have any work. There weren't people traveling. There weren't people on trains or cruises or buses or anything. So friends of mine at the time said, well, why don't you look at boats in San Diego, boats in California? People go fishing all the time. So I probably reached out to 60 different boats from San Pedro all the way down to San Diego, from whale watching to fishing to whatever, to dive boats, saying this is who I am. I have my degree in marine biology. I have experience working on boats. I'm trying to get my captain's license. Hire me. I'm ready to go. And all but one boat messaged me back, and that was the Grande, and I'm forever grateful for having the experience that I did on that boat, and for them giving me a chance, giving me a shot. So I was on the boat until the end of 2023, and then I applied for CCA. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, I did what I set out to do, and this industry has given me so much, from contacts to knowledge to experience, that I want to make sure that other people have a similar upbringing. They have those same opportunities that I did. So the move to go to CCA, it was a no-brainer and a aha moment for me. So here I am.
That's fantastic. And you, I want to make this just a little bit longer. One of the things you do is, can you just briefly explain the chapter system and, the advocacy and government relations stuff that you're involved with?
How long you got here, Eric?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
They're all intertwined. So CCA, we're a network made up of dedicated volunteers and board members, but we're, as far as paid staff goes, there's only 3 of us, and we handle the whole state. And California can easily be broken up into 2 to 3 different states. So we're very glad that Eric is on board with us now to help with that.
And your animal training really comes in well with dealing with me, right? Your animal training experience.
You don't even know that you are conditioned, Eric. That's how good I am.
Exactly.
But like I said, we're volunteer driven. We are grassroots, boots on the ground, and the only way to make our presence known up in Sacramento, across different collaborative groups, across different working groups, you name it, is to be able to fundraise for us to do so. So that's where the chapters come in. The chapters, they each have they all have awesome events throughout the year, all along the coast, from golf tournaments to barbecues.
Next week, right?
Yes. So our Orange County chapter has their barbecue going down at the Costa Mesa Country Club. That's Friday, October 24th. So there are some spots still available. That one's a lot of fun because it not only mixes in the industry, the fishing, sport fishing industry and community, but it also brings in a lot of other people as well. So you get a chance to meet, the people from Shimano, but you get a chance to meet local people as well. And there's a bunch of drinks and games at every hole. If you come out of this event not well fed or not well thirsted, you did something wrong, and that's a word.
And Tony, I'll give you your money back.
No, I don't think I'll do that, but...
All right, Tony, well, thank you very much. That's 8 minutes of fun right there. And see you all next week.
If there's anybody else you guys would like to see in an interview, let me know, and I will do my best to talk to him. It has to be somebody I know, obviously, but yeah, if you got some ideas, let me know. And what's interesting about Tony's story is that she went through career changes as well, kind of like I was talking about last week. So another reminder that if you're not happy doing what you're doing, find something else to do. So that's about it. I hope you guys have a great weekend and good luck with your fish.